As Nelda likes to say, sometimes all it takes is a spark.
So, if we can, let's go back to children. How are they impacted by profanity?
The science here is pretty clear, though, that the main things, that there are basically two things that profanity can play a role in causing harm to children with, and the first is as part of verbal abuse. So it's a tragic fact that children, many of them, experience all kinds of verbal abuse, and that can be insults or threats, and just sort of deprecating them and saying that they're worthless, that sort of thing. But these kinds of ways of using language demonstrably hurt kids in all kinds of ways, increase anxiety, depression. They do worse in school. They have more trouble making friends, and so on. And profanity is often used as part of this sort of verbal abuse of children, and that's tragic. To the extent that we can make verbal abuse and other kinds of abuse stop, that's all to the better. The other way is as part of when people are using slurs. So there have been a number of longitudinal studies watching what happens to kids in schools over time, largely with middle school kids, because there's so much kind of social stuff happening in middle school, and asking them how much they are called by slurs. And those could be, sex-based slurs or homophobic slurs, ethnic slurs, that kind of thing. And the science shows that kids who are called more by particularly homophobic slurs in 6th and 7th grade are the ones in 8th grade who have the biggest problems with, again, anxiety, depression, feelings of disconnectedness from school, and so on. So what both of those things have in common is that they're really using language to try to harm the child, right? To try to make them feel powerless or weak or bad in some way. As for the vanity, so the I'm excited, or look at this funny thing that I'm saying, or even just like I'm in pain, I slammed my finger in the door. Those kinds of profanity haven't been shown to cause any negative effect on kids. They not effects on whether they're more likely to say those words, whether they're more likely to experience these sort of negative emotional or cognitive effects. Part of that might be because, at least when it comes to this sort of general purpose swearing, kids aren't really taking their cues so much from adults. They see what the adults are doing, and they understand that these are, strong words that the parents are using, but they don't necessarily but they can read what the adult is doing emotionally, right? They can also tell, okay, this is just a person in pain, and they're using this word to express that pain, or this is a person who's excited, or excited that their team scored a touchdown, and so this is the word that they use to express excitement. They're able to read the emotion, and so that emotion doesn't have any negative consequence. And when they're coming up with their own profane words that they're going to use with their friends, they're learning that from the older kids on the playground, or from the kids in their class with older siblings, or those are the social connections that form the profanity that they're going to go off and start using. They don't want to talk like mom and dad. Mom and dad suck.
That's good. That's good.